Welcome. Happy Monday to you. So let's start today with an intention. So you can look within yourself and discover what is your intention. Why are you here? Because if we don't have a clear intention, then we have all of this energy, but the energy goes in a million different directions. Almost all of which are what we don't want. So it's helpful to be clear on what do I want? Why am I here? What's my intention? And I will suggest to you, actually, let's make this a little bit of an inquiry. So, because we could just make that a trivial thing, but then we'd be shortchanging ourselves. So let's actually investigate to get clearer on our own intention. So it would might be helpful if you close your eyes for this, if that's comfortable for you. Try to be as reasonably comfortable as you can without collapsing. So can you be buoyant, supported, and relaxed? So maybe a tall order, depends. But see if that's possible. And if not, then just try to be relaxed without falling asleep. And then close the eyes. And just ask yourself, why am I here? What is my intention? What is it that I really long for? What am I doing in this life? What is it that will truly satisfy me? And you'll notice that one of several things might happen. One is that you might have an answer that surfaces. Another possibility is that you might just draw a blank and say, I don't know, I have no idea. So in any case, let's take the pressure off and just say, let's let it be light. Let it be easy. Let it be playful. So there's no pressure here. You don't have to get the right answer. Maybe you get the right answer. Maybe you don't get the right answer. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're just willing to engage. So if you got an answer, great. If you didn't get an answer, if it was just a blank, then that's fine too. Now let's take a look again. Why am I here? What is it that I really desire? What will fulfill me? What do I long for? So again, you may get no answer or you may get an answer. If you don't get an answer, then just continue to let it be lighter and lighter until you get an answer. And don't judge the answer. If you're not getting an answer, it's probably because you have too much judgment. That's not good enough. That's not right. And if you do have an answer, then I'll invite you to look and see, is it true, or is it just what you think you should want? So you'll know if it's true because it will be so true that you won't have to doubt it. The doubts may come, of course, but they won't. They'll be doubts that are based on some conditioning of what I've been told I should want or shouldn't want, or what I've been told I am or I am not. Just let it be light and be willing to take all of the shoulds and shouldn'ts off of this so that it can just be like as if you were a child and you didn't know about any of that, what you should or shouldn't do or want or be. And instead, just let it be so innocent, playful. What do I desire? What do I long for? Why am I here? And again, don't judge it, because the judgments are what keep us stuck. If we have an authentic desire, an authentic sense of a need, and we judge it, shut ourselves off from it, then how will we be anything other than stuck? I mean, for example, maybe what could surface would be, I long to be loved unconditionally by mommy and daddy. Just as an example. And you might have judgment of that. Well, that's impossible. That's ridiculous. I'm not good enough. They're dead. Whatever the case may be. But just as an example. But if that's an authentic desire that arises from your heart innocently, like a child, then just allow that rather than judging it and shutting it down. And then rather than saying that something is impossible or wrong or bad or stupid or foolish or unavailable or any of these kinds of judgments, let's just allow whatever that is, just in its innocence, and just accept that maybe somehow, because it is true, there is a way to receive that. Maybe not in the way that we think, but maybe somehow, so that we can just be open to that possibility. So that by being open to that possibility, we open ourselves to a great relief. We unburden ourselves from all of this heavy stuff that we've been carrying around without knowing it. So perhaps, hopefully, you've gotten a sense, at least, of this desire, and you may not be able to put it in words, and that's okay. You don't have to put it in words. Maybe nothing came clearly to you, and that's also okay. just your willingness to engage is adequate, because it opens something. It opens you to that innocence, to that purity, to that deeper truth within yourself. And by doing that, we open the gates and the doors so that the energy can begin to be directed in that way, in the fulfillment of that authentic desire. So whatever that is, whatever your experience, whatever your idea of it may be, just give thanks. Give thanks to yourself for your willingness to participate, for your willingness to play along, for your willingness to allow your own innocence without any requirement that it expresses in a particular way. Sometimes the innocence just needs to express in its hesitance, its uncertainty. And that's okay too. Okay, so now let's, with awareness of that intention, let's slowly open the eyes. And if it's comfortable today, let's explore sitting. If it's not comfortable, then you don't need to. But if you need to do it lying down, then for this first portion, there may be certain parts of it that you'll need to just imagine rather than do. So we're sitting if possible, and if not, you'll just imagine some of these things, and those things that you can do lying down, you can actually do. So from sitting, let your arms be in your lap comfortably or at your sides comfortably, whatever is most comfortable for you. And if possible, it would be wonderful if you could feel your entire spine. So if possible, you're not going to be leaning against anything. But again, if that's too strenuous for you or not possible, then that's fine. In that case, you'll just feel whatever you feel and experience whatever you experience, and that will be fine too. So we're going to, but you'll need to modify my instructions slightly to meet your individual needs. So always feel free to do that. So I want you to become aware of your right arm. Become aware of the right shoulder, and become aware of the right upper arm and the right elbow. So you're aware of the entire upper portion of the arm from the shoulder to the elbow. And then you're aware that there at the elbow, there's a joint, so the arm can bend there. And then you're aware of the lower arm. Also call that the forearm. And you're aware of the wrist, so there's a joint there at the wrist so that the hand can bend. Then you're aware of the hand and the fingers of the hand. So let's start with the hand and be aware of the weight of the hand and let the hand be relaxed. So be aware of the little finger and the ring finger and the middle finger and the index finger and the thumb and the palm, and let the entire hand be relaxed so that you can feel how heavy and relaxed it is. And then be aware of the wrist and be aware of how relaxed that wrist can be so that you can just let go of any unnecessary tension you might be holding there. And then I want you to again become aware of the right shoulder so that that shoulder now you can allow to be heavy and relaxed. And what I'd like you to do is be aware, remain aware of the hand and the shoulder simultaneously and letting both of them remain heavy and relaxed. And you're going to start to feel that the hand is moving toward the shoulder while the shoulder and the hand remain relaxed. So what does that mean? It means your elbow is going to be bending so you can feel how the hand is relaxed, remains heavy and relaxed, and the shoulder remains heavy and relaxed. As you slowly move the hand toward the shoulder. And let the wrist be relaxed too, so you'll notice as you're lifting that hand toward the shoulder, at first the hand is hanging at the wrist. And then when the arm, as the arm gets closer to being vertical, the forearm becomes closer to being vertical, you'll notice that the wrist starts to feel lighter. And as the hand kind of just becomes poised atop. And then you can slowly reverse that. So you're lowering the hand is moving away from the shoulder as the shoulder remains heavy and relaxed and the hand remains heavy and relaxed. So the hand will come to rest again wherever it does, wherever is most appropriate for you. Maybe that will be different than it was before, and that's fine. And let's do that a few more times. So we'll just be slowly bringing the hand toward the shoulder. And then lowering the hand, and do it slowly so that you can let it all be smooth. It might be awkward at first. It might seem strange. Might seem strange and awkward for a while. That's okay. But if you do it slowly with awareness, you'll start to find that it becomes less awkward, starts to become more familiar, more comfortable. You start to be able to do it with less effort. Let the shoulder continue to remain relaxed, and you might start to find that all kinds of things are letting go that you hadn't even been aware were holding on. Maybe each time the hand comes to rest somewhere different. Maybe each time you find that the shoulder can relax a little bit more. Maybe you find the elbow is starting to move somewhere else. Okay, so you can, next time that the hand comes to rest, just let it rest there. And notice the difference between the right side and the left side. Probably fairly different. So let's explore that on the left side. So same instructions. So let's start with just being aware of the left arm. You're aware of the structure of the left arm. You're aware of the left shoulder and the upper arm and the elbow and the forearm and the wrist and the palm and each of the fingers. So the thumb, the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky finger. And notice how just being aware, bringing your attention to the arm and to each part of the arm changes your experience. You probably noticed that just having that awareness, bringing your attention there, you start to notice that the parts of the arm that you've brought your attention to start to feel more relaxed, heavier. Maybe you start to feel more flow or energy, or maybe something else. Who knows? Anything could happen. So let the hand and the wrist and the shoulder remain heavy and relaxed as you start to bring the hand toward the shoulder. So first the wrist is going to be bent as the forearm comes toward vertical, and then as it reaches vertical, then the wrist will kind of come more atop the forearm, more poised atop, and you'll notice that the wrist maybe feels a little lighter. There's just less happening there. And then slowly lower. So we're just reversing that. So we're just bending at the elbow and we're letting everything else be as passive as possible, but without things being sudden. So we want to let everything kind of slowly ease into its position. And then we'll repeat that several times. So letting the hand come toward the shoulder, making sure that you're letting everything else be, hopefully, soft throughout the face, the belly, the jaw, the right arm. And just keeping the left shoulder and the left hand heavy and relaxed throughout. So you'll hopefully start to notice that with each repetition, there's more awareness, things become easier, smoother, and maybe things start to move, relax, let go. Maybe you start to notice that the shoulder and the elbow start to change their position a little bit without you trying. Because if you try to figure out where they should go, then you'll be guessing all day long. But when you just let them go to where they're wanting to go, then they go there. And then let everything come to rest on the next, when you next lower the hand. Okay, so now let's become aware again of the right arm. And we're going to bring the, the right arm, again, we're going to bend at the elbow so that the hand comes toward the shoulder. And when the hand is near to the shoulder, without straining, you don't have to force it to touch the shoulder, just in that direction. Then we're going to start to lift the hand, which means that the elbow is also going to need to lift, because you remember the hand is connected vicariously to the elbow through the forearm. And see if you can let the shoulder remain relaxed. And just let the hand just keep going up. And then reverse that, letting the hand come down. So the hand and the elbow are moving, and the shoulder we're trying to keep as relaxed as possible. So the hand is not going to come lower all the way down. It's going to only come back toward the shoulder. It's not going to lower all the way back down to the lap or wherever it was at the beginning. And let's repeat that a few times. So the hand is just going to go up, letting the shoulder be relaxed. And see if you can feel how this is connected all the way to the spine, to the tailbone, to the pelvis. See if you can have that awareness so you can start to really let the structure of the body, the skeleton, do its job, carrying the weight, so that you can do less, so you can make less effort. Maybe you notice that you have to let go in places that you hadn't been aware you were holding on, like all along the right side of the rib cage and the abdomen, in order to have that awareness of the spine. So just doing that a few times, and then you can lower the hand and let the hand come to rest. And then be aware of the difference between the right side and the left side. Should be fairly significant. And now let's do the same on the left side. So slowly, with awareness, bring the hand toward the shoulder in that direction. And then let the hand and the elbow lift. Like me, and your clothes are a little bit restricted, you might need to adjust the clothes just to remove the restriction. And then reverse that so that the shoulder remains as relaxed as possible. And let's do that a few times. So just letting the hand and the elbow move up. And then reversing that. And like the other movement, this one may seem awkward at first. And you don't need to, by the way, you don't need to straighten the arm. Maybe your arm doesn't straighten just as far as you can, with the shoulder remaining as relaxed as possible. And then lower the hand. Let the hand come to rest. So just notice what's different. Now, it may seem awkward. It's possible that you've moved so much, changed things so much, that now just the way you're sitting seems strange. But if that's the case, then don't worry. It doesn't mean that it's not bad. It's actually positive. It means that you've succeeded in producing change. If it's strenuous or stressful for you, then you're free to make some adjustments. But try to make those adjustments in a way that doesn't disturb your awareness of your shoulder or your shoulders and your arms. So, and the whole upper body really, which should be substantially different. So you might, like, I feel like I want to lean forward a little bit, just trying to make a slight adjustment in the alignment of my my upper body to my lower body. So that kind of thing is okay, because we've made so much change that it's everything else has to start to adjust to that too. So find how you can now sit, if possible, comfortably, reasonably comfortably, without strain. And if that's not possible for you, then you may certainly lie down or get support in whichever way you need. And let's close the eyes. And become aware of the breath. Become aware of where the breath is moving. So the breath is entering through the nostrils, and it travels down the throat. So be aware of that space. Be aware of the alignment of the head and the neck. Notice if there's any strain, any pulling or discomfort, and just see if you can allow, without trying or overthinking it or straining in any way, just see if you can just allow for that to all relax and come into better alignment, so that that passageway is non-strained, relaxed. So we're just allowing the movement of the breath to highlight those areas in which we notice the misalignment, and then just allow for that awareness to allow for the alignment to take place more naturally. So you can feel the head atop the spine, poised there. You have this awareness of the breath entering through the nostrils and traveling down the throat and down into the lungs. And I want you to have awareness of the lungs in a vertical sense. So I want you to be aware of the top of the lungs and the middle of the lungs and the bottom of the lungs. And as you inhale, I want you to be aware that the bottom of the lungs, they're moving downward, so that the lungs are expanding by elongating. So the bottom of the lungs moves downward. And as the bottom of the lungs moves downward, then you notice that in order to make space for that, the abdomen becomes soft and expands. So it releases to expand. So there's no strain in the abdomen, because the abdomen's not doing the breathing. It's the downward pull on the bottom of the lungs that passively causes the abdomen to expand as the abdomen softens. And then on the exhalation, that just reverses. So the bottoms of the lungs slowly move upward, and the abdomen, still remaining soft, passively can become smaller. So have that awareness of that whole image of the breath. As the breath enters the nostrils and moves down the throat and into the lungs, and the bottoms of the lungs are drawn downward so that the lungs elongate. You can feel and perceive how the breath, the air actually fills the lungs by being drawn downward to fill the bottoms of the lungs. And then the exhalation is just a gentle relaxation. And let the abdomen remain soft and relaxed so that you're not squeezing in the abdomen. Now that's the anatomical image. So that's our baseline. But let's explore some other visualizations of the breath, and these will be different than the anatomically correct image. So try and don't try too hard to force this, because it's not anatomically correct, but it's just something to play with the visualization. So now I want you to imagine that the breath is traveling very, very gently through the nostrils, into the nostrils, down the throat, and like a gentle stream, very, very gently goes down, 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 right to the very base of the lower abdomen. And as you exhale, just imagine that you're just relaxing. So you don't need to force any visualization. You don't have to force a visualization of the air reversing. If that's what happens naturally, that's fine. There's no right or wrong on this. But just on the inhalation, I want you to imagine that that air is very gently, like a gentle stream, flowing in and down, down, down to the very base of the abdomen, the lower abdomen. And then on the exhalation, you just let everything be relaxed without collapsing. So you're still letting the bones be aligned, letting the structure of your body remain aligned, but you're letting the abdomen be soft, and you're just letting the whole body be as soft as possible. So this should be totally non-strenuous. Let it be very relaxed and as slow and gentle as possible. So nothing's forced here at all. And notice with each inhalation how you need to soften more and more to allow for that gentle stream of breath to descend and fill that lower abdomen without any strain or force. So you're just releasing and softening. See how much you can become aware of, how much you can soften and release. See how pleasurable you can allow it to be. So that this gentle stream is bringing nourishment and cleansing, helping to dissolve all the hardness, all the stuckness, all the tension, so that everything can be supple and receptive to this healing breath. So you might start to notice possibly that as you release more and more, that without any force or strain, you start to have a sense that the entire abdomen, from the lowest part of the abdomen all the way up to the upper abdomen, is gently, slowly being filled with this nourishment without any strain, without any force. In fact, it's through the release of strain that you can be aware of of the abdomen being filled with this nourishment. Now, I want you to have your awareness in the abdomen, with awareness of this nourishment. Just let the breath be however it is. So no, no strain, no force. And you're just gently releasing your attention on the breath and just shifting your attention to the nourishment, this energy in the abdomen, and letting the abdomen continue to be soft and supple so that you can just gently allow yourself to hold this nourishment. Maybe you have a sense of it as energy, or maybe it seems like breath, or maybe it seems like space, or whatever your idea of it is fine. Just see if you can allow yourself just to gently, lightly hold that, so that you're not straining in any way. You're not trying not to breathe, but you're not trying to force any breathing. You're just letting everything be light, gentle, natural, and spacious, and just seeing what it's like to allow yourself just to hold that energy lightly, to hold that nourishment, and to allow that nourishment to enter into every cell of your body, so that you can start to feel how it is actually entering into your cells. You can let it enter into the cells of your organs, of the liver, the kidneys, pancreas, and the spleen, and the heart, and the lungs, and the stomach, and the intestines. If you're a woman, then into the ovaries, and if you're a man, into the testes, into the brain, into the eyes. And you can allow that nourishment to start to enter into the bones and deep into the bones, into the marrow. And you can also start to become aware of how this energy or this nourishment can start to not only be in every cell of your body, but it can also begin to fill the space around your body. So feel how this energy starts to fill the space around your body as well as being in every cell of your body. So that this energy is like this energy around you is a buffer that helps to support you and protect you in your life. So now you're aware of this nourishment within in every cell of your body and all around your body. And in just a moment, I will invite you to begin to open your eyes. And so, with that in mind, I want you to have this awareness of this energy within yourself and around you, and feel that, perceive that, and really get a good sense of that, and see in just a moment when I invite you to start opening the eyes, if you can continue to remain aware of that even as you open the eyes. So that as you are going through your day or evening, depending on where you are, you can remain aware of this inner nourishment and this protective nourishment around you, so that you can be less fearful, more grounded, more aware of your own power and well-being. So have this awareness of this energy, and then slowly begin to open the eyes and see that you can remain aware of that energy even with the eyes open. So that is our exploration for today. And for those who are here live, we can stay on for a Q&A. But otherwise, I'm going to be ending the recording of the formal exploration momentarily. This was a very simple, gentle exploration. So I don't think any particular words of caution are necessary, but the usual applies, which is just be sure that you're taking care of yourself when you do come to a subtler dimension of your experiences we've done here, as necessarily we do if we have any kind of, let's say, energetic focus then it what it does is it offers an opportunity for release of suppressed content. So in most cases, that should be very gentle, but sometimes, of course, it can reveal to us some levels of agitation or discomfort that we were not conscious of previously, or not as conscious of previously. So just be gentle with yourself and remember that whatever happens is part of that healing process. So don't be dismayed. It will pass. It all passes, the good and the bad, so called. So don't be attached to any of it. And so that goes too. If you have some sort of mystical experience, don't be attached to that either, because the mystical experiences also come and go. And if you get attached to those, then you'll just be disappointed and holding yourself back unnecessarily from the greater freedom that is available to you, which isn't dependent upon any particular experience in any way. So that when you have these, what I'm talking about is a mystical experience, you might have all kinds of things can happen. You can have blissful experience of sensations or colors or images or blankness or sense of energies or even entities. Uh, all kinds of things, revelations can occur, all kinds of, clairvoyance, all kinds of things can happen. Don't be don't be attached to those either, because those come and go. And your fundamental okayness does not depend upon those things. So if you get attached to those, then that just leads to unnecessary suffering in the long term. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say about that. And I'm going to end this recording. So for those who are here live, be prepared.